Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to share a flip through of this vintage junk journal I made, and I absolutely love the way it turned out. I usually like the way all my journals turn out, but I really like this one and I'm hoping to do more in this style. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm using this as a closure, two sari silk ribbons, because I think it would be easier to work in this journal without the, sometimes I'll attach it to the front and back covers or something like that. Anyway, I have used a very old book cover, and I think this book is from the late 1800s. I don't know the exact date. It's just really old, and I loved the book covers, and I really wanted to use them. I didn't want to do much to them, but I did decorate the front. I used some Tim Holtz frames that are made of cardboard, and I distressed them a lot, and a picture that actually is also from a Tim Holtz pack, and then added this little bit of lace and a button. And the thing that's different about this is that I made a fabric spine, so it's loose, it's a little bit wobbly, as you can see. I really wanted to try this because I saw this type of spine made by Wendy of Wendy's Journal Adventures, I believe it's called. I'll leave a link to her channel below. I mean, she's pretty famous. I can't imagine anyone that's into junk journals not knowing who she is, but just in case, I'll leave a link to that particular video, or just her channel in general, because she does a lot of really great tutorials too. But anyway, she made a journal like with a spine like this, and I really wanted to try it, and now I love it. So, okay, so it's mostly undecorated, but I did tuck a few things in. I attached some fabrics, and I did tuck a few things into pockets. So one of the things I will show you before I flip through really quickly is that, if you, well, wait a minute, let's say you wanted to work on this page. I mean, you could work on it like this, obviously, but if you wanted to work like this, I mean, you can flatten it out because it's so flexible, and open it this way, and any of the signatures you can work like that. So I'll go through it really quickly. It has 3 signatures. I forgot to measure it, but it's about 6 by 9-ish. This is the usual size that I make them. And I have Tim Holtz scrapbook paper to start off. I have some my usual mix of vintage and non-vintage items. This is a little tag. I'm kind of a little discombobulated now. I have some vocabulary cards in different languages, and this old game card that I tucked in here. And then I put some nice papers in here. This is a very vintage French paper from 1931 that I think is so pretty. I think this is probably German from a textbook, or a book, I should say. I put a lot of my gel prints in here, and some ledger paper, book pages, another gel print. This is a pretty paper from the Flow book of papers, if you're familiar with that. Some crinkly tracing paper. This is a really, really old paper, 1906. I just love it. I hoard these papers like a lot of us do, and I decided I just need to use them. And this is not vintage. This is a gel print I made into a pocket. It's a little envelope. None of the envelopes have anything in them. This is an old French paper, but this is another Tim Holtz image, like the cover image. There's that other side of that paper, the crinkly. Okay, I'm going to go faster. Book page and gel print on a book page. And this little pocket, and I put in vintage, not vintage, just an index card that I tea-dyed. Second signature. I made this into like a little tuck And this is actually a vintage French card, which I just recently got, and I love it. I'm passing it on. An eco-dyed index card, book page, more gel printing. This is an old envelope, 1934. I did not make it into a pocket. If you get this journal and you want to, you can easily cut that open and make it into a pocket, but I decided not to do that this time. More book pages, more flow book pages, crinkly old papers that I got, some kind of legal papers, map, more, this is a gel print that I made, and of course the other side of those papers. This is a little envelope, again there's nothing in it, I stamped it with that little stamp. This is the other side of that envelope, which this is the way it came, and you can use it as a pocket. And here's the other side. I tucked in a vintage postcard and a catalog card and a little modern day doodad that I printed out. And I tucked in some little pieces here. It's another little vintagey envelope. It doesn't have a date on it. This is a page from a yearbook I recently got over the summer. I think it's 1916 or 1918, the date of the yearbook. I just love it. I decided to start using those pages and not hoarding them. More gel print. This is like a technical book that I have. More flow paper. My ledger paper from 1952. This is that brown wrapping paper, more gel prints, and more doodads, as I call them. Tim Holtz. This is just a little tag that I stamped on, and one of those cards from, I think it's maybe Italian. This is a vintage cigarette card, that game card, and then just a little miscellaneous tag, which is actually a fabric and paper tag. And I attached that little doohickey there. And this is an envelope, modern day envelope. Again, there's nothing inside of it. And oh, this is the Edith Holden book page, which a lot of people are familiar with. The other side of that envelope, and more doodads. These are all modern. I love this lady. Look at her. And these are like a scrapbook paper postcard, and more Tim Holtz paper, and that's the end. I just did not want to do anything to these book covers. I love them. So I hope you like this one. It's going to be in my Etsy shop by the time you see this video, and I will post a link to that. And I wanted to mention very, very quickly that I have also listed some paper packs and this ephemera pack in my Etsy shop. I'm not going to take everything out because it'll just take too long. This pack is loaded with stuff. Book pages, a doily, some ribbons, some fabrics. I mean, a million things. You can see pictures in my Etsy shop of that pack. I have one of just book pages of birds. And I have like a technical one, you know, with a lot of engineering or math type book pages. I have one just with flowers. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video this week, and I'll see you next time.